Hi, welcome to the small shed this Saturday. Today it's all about cake, and that's coming up next. Hi, well, I do get asked to do some odd things. This time it was my daughter that was asking me. She makes cakes and decorates them, and at the moment she's on doing a course for some sort of qualification for it, and she needed a base upon which to do some demonstration work effectively for a project, and she needed something basically that looked like a large cotton reel, slightly tapered in centres, but circular, and it needed to be about 6 inches high and about 10 inches in diameter. And we sort of had to think about it, and I decided that I might be able to do something with some of the spare Celotex I had left over from the shed. So we'll see how we get on with that. So as a starter for 10, I've marked out a 10-inch square at the moment on some 40mm Celotex. I think 3 layers of that should get me there. I'll strip the aluminium foil off the sides, glue them together, but at least if I've got it in 3 pieces I can cut the rings slightly different sizes just to start me off. So we'll see how it works. I mean, I know it cuts well enough. And then we'll next put it on the bandsaw, mark a circle out and cut it out. I could go to the trouble of making a circle cutting jig, but for a one-off like this it's probably not worth it. Seems to give a rather nice smooth edge to it, so I think I'm well on the way with that. That can be hand finished. Whether or not it really wants to go in a lathe, but obviously I haven't got one, but I might thread the 3 items onto a spindle 6mm threaded rod or something like that, and then just put it in the drill and use that as a means to turn it. So yeah, we'll do 2 more of those. Peel the aluminium foil off, which I think should just come off easily enough. Great. And then I can glue them up and leave them for a day or 2 to dry out. It became obvious last night that the PVA glue I was using, the Gorilla Glue, wasn't really the right thing to use on this, because I've had it before that it can't set inside the Celotex, and indeed the stuff at the bottom is still wet. But what I've actually used is the polyurethane Gorilla Glue, and I gave that an extra bit on top of the other PVA, and that's glued it well. So it's all glued together nicely now, and we can start and see how we effectively turn it into a required shape. Right, well, I've glued and fixed together all the discs. Next thing is to see if we can get a rod through the middle. I've got some threaded rod, a couple of washers, put a lock nut on one end and a wing nut on the other to clamp it. Drill a hole through that way, 6mm. Don't know whether this is going to work or not, but you've got to try these things. Through the middle. There we go. What I'm going to do then is stick it in a drill. Don't know whether or not it will need support at the other end, or whether it will just float free in the drill. We'll see when we get it on. There's not a lot of weight in it, and then hopefully that makes me a mini lathe that I can turn the waste on this part of the former. I've since discovered I've got to do another piece now. For the top she wants it's a steampunk themed cake. This is like a corset shape at the bottom, and she now wants a top hat at the top. I've got to find out. I think that also needs a taper on it. It'll be a smaller diameter, and we'll see. She's coming down on Monday night, I think. So it's today's Sunday. So tomorrow we should know pretty much where we're going, but I wanted to just find out whether or not it actually worked as a concept first, because if I can get the shape right, I'll then just give it a couple of coats of PVA just to fix the outside shape, give her something a little bit more rigid to work to, and she can then start and apply all the fondant icing and that's required to get the finished article. So I'll just do this and I'll come back to you when we're all fixed up. There we have it, the world's biggest drum sander. Let's try it with a bit of fine sandpaper just to start with and see if it actually takes anything off. We need to be that way around. Promising, but very dusty. I'm already starting to get a shape in it. So I think, apart from going outside and doing it, because the particle meter in the shed has just gone off the scale, I think it's going to be extremely messy, but I think I'll go and try this outside, and I think we've got the answer. I'll just clear the mess up first and come back to you when I've got somewhere. You know, sometimes when you have an idea and you think it's a good one and it turns out not to be, and you get absolutely covered in dust. But we've got there. Got roughly the shape we want, I think. So it's just a matter of trimming it up and getting some PVA onto it to seal that surface. But it does turn beautifully. just need to go and clear up now. I think I look bad. See the rest of the surroundings. Almost done. I repeated the same thing for a top hat former, which was tapered, and then they've both just been covered with PVA to give it a decent surface so that the fondant icing can be stuck on afterwards. These are like dummies for the cakes themselves. So once that's dry, that's the end of that little job. Here's the finished article. Top hat complete with feathers made out of, I think it's sugar paper that's been cut and airbrushed. Plaques and symbols made out of fondant. And the centre one was just a straightforward circular blank that is available, and that's just normal polystyrene, and the rest of it are the parts that were made with the Celotex. Well, once again, something slightly different. Hope you liked it. If you did, please press like and subscribe. Share it with your friends, and I look forward to seeing you next Saturday in the shed. Bye.